Question 851. What is the primary advantage of using a digital signature to authenticate an electronic document? A. It ensures the confidentiality of the document's contents. B. It guarantees the document's availability to authorized users. C. It encrypts the document to block unauthorized access. D. It verifies that the document has not been modified and comes from the claimed sender. Correct answer. D. It verifies that the document has not been modified and comes from the claimed sender. A digital signature is a cryptographic method used to verify the authenticity and integrity of an electronic document by creating a unique signature linked to the sender. It ensures that the document has not been tampered with and confirms its origin, preventing forgery and unauthorized modifications. Question 852. Alex, a security administrator, has set up desktop computers to automatically lock after 5 minutes of inactivity. What type of security control has Alex implemented? A. Corrective. B. Detective. C. Deterrent. D. Preventive. Correct answer. D. Preventive. Preventive security control is a measure that stops security incidents before they occur, such as automatically locking a computer after a period of inactivity to prevent unauthorized access. This ensures that unattended systems remain secure, reducing the risk of data breaches and unauthorized use. Question 853. Which type of policy specifies the level of care required to ensure the confidentiality of private information? A. Due care. B. Incident response. C. Separation of duties. D. Document disposal and destruction. Correct answer. A. Due care. Due care is a policy that establishes the responsibility to exercise a reasonable level of caution and attention when handling sensitive information, ensuring its confidentiality and integrity. It specifies the required standards and practices for safeguarding private data, promoting accountability and secure management. Question 854. Which type of site provides limited functionality for restoring services during a disaster? A. Hot site. B. Warm site. C. Cold site. D. Backup site. Correct answer. C. Cold site. Cold site is a backup facility that provides only basic infrastructure, such as power, cooling, and network connectivity, without pre-installed hardware or software. It requires significant setup time before becoming operational, as organizations must bring in equipment and configure systems before resuming services. Question 855. When outsourcing code development for an internet-facing application, which of the following poses the greatest security concern? A. Intellectual property theft. B. Elevated privileges. C. Unknown backdoor. D. Quality assurance. Correct answer. C. Unknown backdoor. When outsourcing code development for an internet-facing application, the greatest security concern is unknown backdoor. A backdoor is a hidden method of accessing an application or system, often allowing unauthorized access or control. This is a significant risk because, if introduced by the outsourced development team, it could be exploited by attackers to compromise the system, bypassing normal security measures. Question 856. Peter, the web security administrator for an online auction site, receives reports from a few users who claim the website appears to be the wrong one when they visit it. Peter verifies that he can access the site without any problems, even from outside the network. He also examines the web server log, but finds no record of these users connecting. What is the most probable reason for this? A. Cross-site request forgery. B. Cross-site scripting. C. SQL injection. D. Typo squatting. Correct answer. D. Typo squatting. Typo squatting is the practice of creating a counterfeit website that closely resembles a legitimate one, but with small variations in the URL, such as a misspelled domain name. Users who mistype the web address or make an error in the URL may be redirected to this fraudulent site, which may look similar to the intended website. Question 857. Which of the following allows computer programs to exchange information? A. UI, B. API, C. SDK. D. Device drivers. Correct answer. B. API. An API, Application Programming Interface, enables software programs to interact and share data with one another. It specifies the methods and data structures that programs can use to request and transmit information, facilitating smooth communication between different software systems. Question 858. A penetration tester contacted a help desk staff member at Charles's company, pretending to be a senior executive in urgent need of a password change for an important meeting starting in a few minutes. The staff member changed the executive's password to one provided by the penetration tester. Which social engineering tactic did the tester use to execute this attack? A. Intimidation. B. Scarcity. C. Trust. D. Urgency. Correct answer. D. Urgency. The penetration tester leveraged the urgency principle by posing as a senior executive requesting an immediate password reset for an important meeting. This pressured the help desk staff into acting swiftly without properly verifying the request. Such social engineering tactics are commonly used to bypass standard security protocols. Question 859. John, a security administrator at his organization, notices repeated failed attempts by a hacker to submit a Kerberos certificate for validation by the authentication system. What type of attack is this? A. Man-in-the-middle attack. B. Backdoor attack. C. Replay attack. D. TCP/IP hijacking. Correct answer. C. Replay attack. In a replay attack, an attacker intercepts legitimate data transmissions and resends them to deceive the authentication system into granting unauthorized access. By reusing a previously captured Kerberos certificate, the attacker attempts to bypass authentication and infiltrate the system. Question 860. Which of the following changes the external behavior of an application without modifying its code? A. Shimming. B. Refactoring. C. Sideloading. D. API call. Correct answer, A. Shimming. Shimming is a method used to alter an application's behavior without modifying its original code. It involves placing an intermediary layer between the application and the system, which intercepts function calls or interactions. This allows adjustments or extensions to the application's functionality without directly changing its source code. Question 861. What is the main objective of a DDoS attack that uses a high volume of apparent legitimate requests to overload the target's web server, depleting its resources and rendering it unreachable for legitimate users. A. To steal confidential data from the target system. B. To encrypt network traffic on the target system. C. To disrupt the availability of web services. D. To gain unauthorized access to the target system. Correct answer. C. To disrupt the availability of web services. Distributed denial of service attack is a cyber attack that floods a target web server with a large volume of seemingly valid requests, exhausting its resources and making it inaccessible to legitimate users. It aims to disrupt the availability of web-based services by overwhelming network bandwidth, server capacity, or application infrastructure. Question 862. Which of the following is a typical technique employed in security auditing to confirm the identity of users? A. Vulnerability scanning. B. Penetration testing. C. Identity verification. D. Log analysis. Correct answer. C. Identity verification. Identity verification is a security technique used to confirm a user's identity by validating authentication credentials such as passwords, biometrics, or multi-factor authentication. It ensures that only authorized users can access sensitive systems and data, reducing the risk of identity fraud. Question 863. The Chief Compliance Officer at a bank has approved a background check policy for all new hires. Which of the following is the policy most likely intended to protect against? A. Preventing any current employee's relatives from working at the bank to avoid nepotism. B. Hiring an employee with a history of theft to meet industry compliance requirements. C. Screening applicants who have provided false information on resumes to appear more qualified. D. Ensuring that no new hires have worked at other banks that may be attempting to steal customer information. Correct answer. B. Hiring an employee with a history of theft to meet industry compliance requirements. Background checks are commonly used to ensure that new hires do not have a history of criminal activity, such as theft or fraud, which could pose a risk to the bank's security and compliance with industry regulations. This helps the bank meet compliance requirements and protect against the potential for internal threats. Question 864. A user needs to protect Social Security numbers by replacing them with an alternate reference value, which can be used to retrieve the original SSN when needed. What technique should be applied? A. Data masking. B. Data washing. C. Encryption. D. Tokenization. Correct answer. D. Tokenization. Tokenization is a data protection technique that replaces sensitive information, such as Social Security numbers, with a unique reference value, token, while allowing retrieval of the original data when needed. This ensures that sensitive data remains secure while still enabling authorized systems to use the token for processing. Question 865. Oliver is developing a web application that will interact with a service provider. What open standard should he design the application to use in order to work with many modern third-party identity providers? A. Kerberos. B. LDAPE. C. NTLM. D. SAML. Correct answer. SAML. SAML, Security Assertion Markup Language, is an open standard that is commonly used for exchanging authentication and authorization data between parties, particularly between an identity provider and a service provider. It is widely adopted for single sign-on solutions, allowing users to authenticate with one identity provider and access multiple services. Question 866. Which virtualization technology is designed to maximize the utilization of physical server resources by running multiple virtual machines on a single host? A. Application virtualization. B. Network virtualization. C. Server virtualization. D. Storage virtualization. Correct answer. C. Server virtualization. Server virtualization aims to maximize the use of physical server resources by enabling multiple virtual machines to run on a single physical server. Each VM operates as an independent instance, with its own operating system and applications. This approach improves efficiency, scalability, and resource utilization, while also reducing hardware costs. Question 867. Which factor has the greatest impact on a domain's reputation? A. Domain age. B. Distribution of spam. C. Derivative content. D. Bounce rate. Correct answer? B. Distribution of spam. The spread of spam has a major impact on a domain's reputation. When a domain is used to send unsolicited bulk emails, spam, it can rapidly develop a negative reputation with email service providers and security systems. This may lead to the domain being blacklisted, significantly hindering its ability to send legitimate emails. Question 868. Which of the following is commonly exploited by spyware to track and report a user's activities? A. Tracking cookie. B. Session cookie. C. Normal cookie. D. Collection cookie. Correct answer. A. Tracking cookie. A tracking cookie is commonly used by spyware to observe and record a user's online activities. These cookies are intended to monitor browsing behavior across multiple sessions, gathering data such as visited websites, preferences, and possibly personal information, which is then sent back to the attacker. Question 869. Which of the following commands in Linux shows the last part of a file? By default, the last 10 lines. A. Tail. B. Read. C. File. D. printf. Correct answer. A. Tail. The tail command in Linux is used to display the last part of a file. By default, it shows the last 10 lines of the file. It is commonly used for monitoring log files or viewing recent content in files. Question 870. What does the Linux chmod command do? A. Changes file/directory access permissions. B. Moves or renames files. C. Changes file owner and group permissions. D. Compares the contents of two files or sets of files. Correct answer. A. Changes file/directory access permissions. The chmod command in Linux is used to change the access permissions of files and directories. It allows the user to define who can read, write, or execute a file, specifying permissions for the file owner, group, and others.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful for you, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more practice questions and tips.